Greetings, and welcome to Sunday Alignment. I need you to go ahead and take a deep breath. And I need you to hear me carefully because today I need you to question something you have probably never questioned before. What if? What if the relationship you are trying so desperately to save was built on a contract? Built on a contract that you never knowingly signed. Now, I'm not talking about a marriage license, and I'm not talking about dating. I'm talking about an invisible agreement, one that is written in pain instead of ink. Now, somebody right now needs to hear me. Somebody needs to hear this because you've been blaming yourself for breaking promises that you never actually made. See, the narcissist doesn't walk into your life with paperwork. They don't say things like, hey, excuse me, I'd like for you to abandon yourself. It would be awesome, super awesome if you could ignore your intuition. It would be great if you could question your memory, and this is a winner right here. If you could carry all my emotional baggage. And I would love it if you could apologize for things that you never did. If they came to you like that, you would run. But see, the contract is invisible. It's emotional. It's psychological. It's signed one compromise at a time. Maybe the first clause said, if they're upset, it must be my fault. Then another clause appears, I should try harder. Then you're digging through the paperwork and it says, if I can just love them enough, they will become who I know they can be. Before long, you have literally signed 20 pages without realizing. Now, I need you to hear me, and I'm probably going to have to hold your hand because this is where people miss it. The narcissist didn't create the entire contract. They did not create the entire contract. Some pages were already inside of you. Childhood, abandonment, rejection, people-pleasing, fear of disappointing others. The narcissist simply discovered what somebody else wrote, and then they took full advantage of it. Now, you guys know I love Carl Jung. Carl Jung, one of his more famous quotes is, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Replay that in your mind. Replay that in your spirit. What if I said maybe this wasn't fate? Maybe it was programming. Maybe you weren't cursed. Maybe you were conditioned. And conditioned people can be reconditioned. So listen to this part very super carefully. The trauma bond isn't just attachment. It is obligation. It is the belief that leaving makes you the bad person, that saying no makes you selfish, that choosing peace means that you have failed. Who taught you that? Who convinced you that your suffering was proof of your love? This is why so many survivors feel guilty. The relationship ends, but the contract remains. See, nobody's texting you anymore. Nobody's yelling anymore. Nobody's manipulating you anymore. Yet every morning you wake up still honoring an agreement with someone who isn't even present. That right there is how powerful invisible contracts truly are. Now, can I jump into Minister Robinson mode for just a moment? See, you keep praying for God to change them, when maybe God has been waiting for you to tear up the contract. Because I'm going to tell you, I need to tell you this, because heaven cannot bless what you refuse to release. Heaven cannot bless what you refuse to release. Look at your life. How many decisions are still being made by someone who no longer deserves access to your mind? How many dreams have you postponed? How many friendships have you abandoned? How many opportunities have you refused? And do you know why? Because you are still emotionally asking permission from someone who broke your spirit. Today, we are changing that. Not tomorrow, not next month, today. And here's how we're going to do it. This is how we're going to do it. I want you to imagine standing in front of that invisible contract. Every lie, every manipulation, every false responsibility, every guilt trip, every silent treatment, every breadcrumb, and every broken promise. Every moment that you chose them instead of yourself. Now, in your mind, I want you to tear it in half. I want you to tear it in half. And again. And again. And again. Until there is nothing left. Because here is the truth. You cannot build a new life while honoring an old contract. This week, I want you to ask yourself one question. Not what do they need? Not what are they thinking? Not what if they change? I need you to ask yourself this. What would I choose if guilt was not making the decision? See, that answer is the beginning of trusting yourself again. And this is exactly why we built the Real Talk Inner Circle. Because I've come to realize healing isn't just information. Healing is repetition. Healing is community. Healing is being surrounded by people who remind you of the truth until your own voice becomes louder than the narcissist. Inside the community, inside the family, we don't just talk about healing, we practice it. Every week, every conversation, every breakthrough. And I'm going to tell you, just for $9 a month, you will get live workshops, our healing library, practical recovery tools, exclusive replays, and a community of people walking the same path, not to stay stuck in the pain, but to move forward together. See, if today's message stirred something inside of you, don't stop here. Join us and let's continue this work together. Now, let me leave you with this. The most dangerous contract isn't the one you signed with your hand. It is the one you signed with your identity. Today you have permission to re-sign. not from love, from bondage, not from compassion, from self-abandonment, not from hope, from illusion. Because I'm going to tell you, you deserve a life where peace doesn't require permission. My name is Minister Robinson, and I want to thank you for spending your Sunday with me. Until next week, stay powerful. And as always, break the trauma bond and trust yourself again. Minister Robinson, founder of the N.O.W movement.